welcome back to another episode of the Interlake Sports Now. I'm Josh Dugan, and thank you, as always, for tuning in. We have a special edition of the show this week. I was live at the Brock Osweiler football camp in Kalispell at Legend Stadium last Saturday, hosted by the Flathead Braves and Osweiler himself, the former Flathead Brave product turned Super Bowl champion with the Denver Broncos. Exciting stuff. With that being said, we're going to get to some interviews and video from the camp. The kids were loving it. It was an awesome environment, awesome atmosphere for these Valley football products on a great summer day. The sun was shining, wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was hot on the turf. I will say that, no doubt about it. I was there for about 2.5 hours, and towards the end of it, I ran out of water, and I was ready to go home and chug a couple of glasses of ice water, that's for sure. So I can only imagine all those athletes. I know they got ice cream at the end of the day. That's what the camp offered them. I bet they were ready for that. That all being said, let's get to those interviews and that video. Little heads up, there was some pretty heavy wind in the mix, so it's one of those days, you know how it is in the Valley, 2:30 on a summer day, a lot of wind coming through, but hey, that's the name of the game, battling the elements, making it work. Next up, I spoke with Osweiler about the full circle nature of this event, going from playing at Legend Stadium, his old stomping grounds back in the day, to now paying it forward to the next generation of Flathead Valley football players. Josh Dugan here with Brock Osweiler. Brock Osweiler football camp. Just wanted to, it's kind of a full circle moment here. Have the opportunity to roam these fields, your old stomping grounds. Now paving it forward for the next generation. Kind of how does that feel and that opportunity?
You know what? The last couple days have just been incredible. Starting yesterday, we hosted a 7-on-7 camp. Schools came from all over the state, which was really cool to see. Great energy, guys just wanting to get better in the summer, hang out with their teammates, build that trust, build that camaraderie. That was really cool to see. And then when you talk today in the football camp, you know, put on by the Flathead Braves program, it's incredible. You know, I think this morning we had a little over 100 4th through 8th graders. And now today we got these high school kids out here grinding this afternoon. Kids who really want to get better. They're eager to learn. You can tell they brought a great attitude, high energy. And it's just so fun being back here where I grew up. These camps meant the world to me. You know, some of my best memories growing up in Kalispell was coming to Flathead Braves camp. I remember Coach Applegate put it on every year. At the end of camp, we got a free Dairy Queen ice cream cone. Still something I remember to this day. And just playing football with your buds, and it's really special to be able to come back and help do something.
Last up, I asked Brock Osweiler if he had any inspirations on the football field growing up, and here's what he had to say.
I always say, you know, it's good for kids to have inspiration, you know, people they kind of look up to. Did you have any, you know, Montana football guys or just kids you looked up to as your inspiration growing up, you know, and it's cool to pay forward to the next generation?
I absolutely did. I remember when I was young, growing up in Kalispell, the varsity players for the Flathead Braves were like my heroes, right? So coming to this Braves camp, being coached by the varsity players and the coaching staff was just so cool to me. And then on top of that, you know, I grew up a huge Montana Grizzly fan. So I remember anytime I could get around a Grizz player, whether that's a spring game or something like that. I remember after football games on Saturdays, they used to allow fans to come down to the field. You could get autographs by the players. Still something I remember to this day. So for me to be able to make it full circle, come back to the Flathead Valley, come back to the high school in the town that's given me so much, and you know, just be here to support these kids that love this game so much. It's been a really special couple days.
I just want to close out the show with this. Thank you to everybody for the interviews. Thank you to everybody at that camp for making it happen, from the coaches to the parents to the kids. It was just an epic environment. You love to see that as someone who loves sports. And I was there in the afternoon, most of the camp. Right off the bat, you could tell the energy was there. The kids were having a great time. And even though it was a scorcher under that big sky sunshine, especially on the turf, no doubt about it, it was a great day for football. And it's the type of memories that last a lifetime as a kid. So kudos to Brock Osweiler and the Braves football program and Coach Caleb Allen. I'm giving the Grizzlies a slight edge in this one based off the home field advantage. And they have played in some real dogfights. I feel like the Bobcats, they have the ability to run away with this one. They have the offensive firepower, but they haven't won those slugfest kind of games this year. They've blown teams out or they've lost the close ones. So that's why I give the Grizzlies a slight edge. Like I said, you kind of throw all the numbers out on this one. It's going to be a slugfest. And like I agree with what Ian said, where I think this one comes down to a few key plays, a big punt return, a blocked field goal. Something funky is going to happen. It's the Brawl, the Wild, and Missoula. It's going to be a wild game. So definitely Not sure where it's going to go. I do got the Grizzlies winning 31-27, but the more I say it, I don't know if we're going to see that many points. So we'll see what happens. I did want to talk a little bit about Idaho State at Idaho. Thanks again to the Clark Auto Group for helping us present this Poster Player of the Week. Now on to some Cat Grizz football talk. It's that time of the year, Montana sports fans. Let's get to our Brawl the Wild preview here on the Interlake Sports Now. Because the winner will be the outright Big Sky champion for the season. It's a battle of 2 top 5 teams in the country. This is going to be a special year for the Brawl of the Wild. Every year's special, but this one's got a little added intensity. Winner will be the outright champion, top 5 teams. One of the best games in the FCS all season long with some high stakes. Last year, Montana State won the game 55-21 in Bozeman, so it's back in Missoula this year. You know the Grizzlies will be hungry to protect home field and get bragging rights back on their side. All right, before I give my prediction and we close this thing out, quick reminder, today's episode is brought to you by Nomad, voted the Flathead's best manufacturer. Nomad is a longtime supporter of our community and the local sports scene, celebrating 20 years of building great careers and mission-focused custom vehicles. Nomad, a Montana-based company making a global impact. Visit nomadgcs.com for more info. That's nomadgcs.com for more information.